Welcome, everyone. My name is Dr. Mary Stark Carter, and I am excited for this particular interview tonight about finding freedom from food freedom. I had the privilege over the past several months to be a part of a community, a part of a group that I'm a coach in, where we help people kind of release bad habits and bring in really good habits and bring in a system that gives them that freedom from food, um, flooding the body with antioxidants, giving them some specific step-by-step details of what they can do, holding them accountable for 10 days a month, and then letting them release and see what works for them. But this one woman, there's been several women, but this one woman has been near on my heart because I just kept seeing her post after post and the success she was having and the sincere comments and just doing that. And I had the privilege to get to know her just a little bit a couple of weeks ago. And I said, your people need to hear your story. She is such a gift to us as women. And I'm really excited to ask her a few questions tonight and hear a little bit about her journey from difficulty with food, and you'll hear a little bit about that, to having this food freedom. Please welcome Amie. Amie, are you out there?
I am. Hello.
Hey. Awesome, Amie. Oh, it's so good to see you tonight, or this afternoon, or if you're watching this recording. Amie, tell me a little bit about your, if you don't mind sharing a little bit about your past with food and diet and exercise, and where you found yourself, um, in your, you know, how old are you, Amie? Again, so for
Just turned 50 this year.
I thought so. Okay. So this is so important. I'm a perimenopause coach, and I think that so many women feel like when we're going through those later years into our 40s, into our 50s, that we can't lose weight. And I know you changed that. And tell us a little bit about your history with food, because I know there's going to be some women who can relate with you.
Okay. Yeah, so from a young age, I was 12 when I started with an eating disorder. So most of my, life, adult life, I had fallen into the binging and purging cycle. And I was able to stop doing the purging, but the binging still continued. So probably in my mid 30s was when the binging and purging kind of seemed to halt for a while, but then the food, I would do good for a while, and then I would just fall back into the cycle. It was how I would stress eat, and it just seemed very out of control always. Um, Yo-yo dieting, the keto diet, I would lose the weight and then I would gain it, and then I'd gain more than it just kind of kept going off and on like that. The hard part, like, I knew what I knew, right? I knew the good things. I knew how to eat. I've always enjoyed food. I enjoy cooking. I enjoy researching and learning. I knew all the things, but I couldn't do them. I felt like a failure constantly. And so, coming across this program, I was introduced, when I first started, I saw the container. I was like, oh, no, there's 21-day fix. And I almost kind of turned off the video, actually, to be honest. Because I was like, well, I've done that. And I was starving on it. And so I'm thinking, oh, it's just another diet. But what I've found in this is just for this to be, it's too easy almost, right? It's not counting the macros. I mean, I've done the discipline of writing everything down, logging everything. Um, and then you get tired of doing that, to where this has just been, it's just the easy button. And throughout this process, I mean, I actually couldn't believe how much weight came off and how quickly, because at my age, it's hard to lose weight, I thought. But when you stick with the program and follow what you guys recommend, it's just your body just releases it. And I felt better than I've ever felt. I was not starving on this. And actually, the amount of food, I think that was part of what shocked me, was like, oh, I get to actually eat this much food, because I was so used to starving myself. Like, oh, you can't have this. You have to deprive yourself in order to get where you want to get. you know, and so that kind of that all or nothing mindset to where now it just following what you guys say, it just makes it that easy. So I feel like the first time ever, I don't think about the food like I used to. It doesn't have the same strong on me. It's not consuming my life. It's, I can be around the treats and know, because like the little saying in my head, it's a no for now, for not forever. Little things that you guys coach along the way has just really resonated with me. And obviously having the success is very motivating too. And feeling as good as you feel deprived, and then I'm a long time NICSA drinker. That was something that got me started with Young Living, actually, because I have fibromyalgia. I was dealing with chronic pain and stress when I started, but I had never increased to the 10 ounces. So I am actually, even on the off days, not the 10 during the 10 days, I drink 8 to 10 ounces now every day because I found my body thrives for that. So reduce the sugar cravings and just balancing blood sugar. That's another thing in our family. I have struggled with blood sugar issues. So I think that was part of the hunger too. So balancing the blood sugar, you're not dealing with those hunger pains, and then the reduction of the inflammation. In my first round, I was blown away by the 10 pounds that I lost in the 4 inches off my waist. That was like, what? You're kidding me. So and obviously a lot of healing went on during just those 10 days, the first round, and adding the enzymes, the formula that you guys have created. It's like magic. And so for me now, I just keep talking about it, sharing kind of like when I started drinking the NICSA and using the Young Living products because they work. And the program that you guys have designed works. You just have to do it. Just have to follow. Don't try and create your own thing, right? You guys have done it for us.
This is awesome. Wow. I want to address a couple of great things that you shared. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? One of the things you talked about is that you actually cooked healthy foods, right? But you were not losing the weight.
Right. Yeah.
And I kind of target you as Chef Amie. She always has the most beautiful posts and the beautiful food. So did this program help you to dial that food in just a little bit better? What do you think?
Yeah. I think also that was what was nice for me, the freedom in having a list that I could create, because that's my hobby, is creating recipes and food. And I enjoy doing that and cooking for others. And so, even like they've talked about, like in the group where, you could still cook for your family, maybe add more carbs for them, and then you take out yours, but it still gave me that creativity. I mean, but even 2 years ago, I paid $500 for a dietitian. I hired someone. I've hired people. I've joined groups. Again, this is the only one that's actually worked, and I feel amazing. They gave you like pre-done up meal plans, but not the list of foods. So for me, getting to also pick and choose what works for my body, right? You pick what you feel best on, and having that freedom in that was really helpful for me. And having fun. It makes my creativity, having fun diving in and going, okay, well, what can I make out of this?
Yes, we love to have fun and do different fun things. The program that Amy's referring to is the program called Rev Up, and that was founded by a group of coaches who all went through a program that really helped us to dial in our food. Similar, she mentioned the word 21-day fix, which is a wonderful program. Like she says, we did it. But we found, myself as health practitioner, other health practitioners, we found that we needed to dial something in that addressed the inflammation. Because if you can't deal with inflammation, you can't balance your blood sugar. You talked about that too. And you can't get out of pain, so you can't have movement. And movement was a key in this. So we have a particular product that we use that everyone can use, whether you're in our Rev Up program or not, called Nisha Red. It's from Young Living. I encourage you to get back with Amie or the person who invited you to watch this to get yourself some. And all of us feel better with 2 4 ounces. Like we notice a difference in our energy. But I have a theory that people, like you said, who have those chronic inflammatory things, because Ninja Red has been proven to help the inflammatory response. I have a theory that that plus water, plus anti-inflammatory foods that are in the Rev Up program, like it's huge. It's
Yeah.
huge. And I've heard a lot of people who say, like you, Amie, I stay on the higher doses because that's what does best for me,
Yeah.
in this season. And maybe as your body gets more and more healthy, you'll need less. So
Yeah.
too. Um, I want to talk about movement too, because you exercised
I
before you
do.
started
Yeah.
Rev Up. You are a higher, what I would say, a higher level exerciser. You, right?
Right.
You go to the gym, you
Yep.
have a walk in the evening too. Tell us a little bit about your exercise. And did you ever feel frustrated that you were doing all this exercise and the scale wasn't moving?
Yeah. I mean, and I think I would push myself almost too hard before. Like that when I during the rev up, my whole thing was like, okay, if I didn't get to the gym, I at least needed to get my 30 minutes of movement in. So getting the walks in. But yeah, I've always exercised. And so yeah, going to again, I've hired trainers, I've lifted. I mean, I'm pretty intense. I was a gymnast growing up. So exercise for me has been a part of my life always, and I enjoy it. But yeah, working out to where like I'm sorry, I have a dog that needs I'm gonna open the door real quick for her.
Okay, I got a new dog too, so I might have to as well.
She is 14 and a half and sometimes a little demanding. um, but yeah, no, I mean, I had hired a trainer and they actually gave me a food program too, along with it, right? All these things that I've done and never had the success that I've had with even just the simple walking. Because some of the times, if I didn't make it into the gym as much as I wanted, I would just go for walks, which everyone can do. And even right now, I'm battling a cold and I haven't felt 100%. But this morning, it's like, okay, I can do 15 minutes now, and then I'll do more after dinner. And I think the walking after dinners or after meals, if you can, key, right? And even if it's 15 minutes. So yeah, but yeah, I've always enjoyed working out. So yeah, working out again, knowing I thought I knew the food I needed, but I think I was almost going too extreme, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
and putting stress on my body. And so then again, it's not sustainable. This is sustainable and I don't hurt. That's the other key, right? Like always in the past, I've hurt every time I try and get into an intense workout program and do the food. And then I end up, injured or, I mean, that's actually been a history because I had back issues.
Mhm.
I would end up injured because I was pushing myself so hard and frustrated. So yeah, I have not had injuries. I feel amazing. My pain is like zero, seriously, which I haven't even with, doing Young Living in the Ningxia, I can't say that I'd had a zero pain in years. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That that's the combination, right? This it's the anti-inflammatory key. So that's so good. So if you're taking notes, I always encourage you to have 4 sections on your paper, right? One for notes, one for questions, one for nuggets for you personally, like, oh, Ninja Red, write that down. Enzymes. Enzymes are a key package. They're not required in our program, but we highly, highly suggest them
Yeah.
because they have so much benefit for the body. And then another section, nuggets for a friend who needs to hear this message. So make sure you're writing that down and stuff too. Is there anything else that you take maybe from Young Living or, things that you found that is helpful for you? Do you do a shake every day? Do you, um, m-
Yeah, so I mean, I would say the two things I wasn't doing before Rev Up was the shakes. I had bought them a long time ago, but never really gave them. I wasn't much of a shake person. But then was it you that shared the protein pudding? Someone shared the protein pudding, and I loved that. The sweet potato and the chocolate protein powder. So that is something I really like. And then I've started doing like the hot chocolate with the Ningxia. So, but yeah, that and then the enzymes I hadn't used consistently. So those two, I was actually surprised at the difference and just the bloating, because that's something I think from yo-yo dieting from so many years and just, kind of abusing my body, really, my digestive system was really messed up. And so I've found just I'm feeling better. And there's still times like I think I'm still balancing out, but what I've really noticed is if I add in sugar, because
Mhm.
I'm not eating sugar most of the time now, I'm really because the fruits and everything tastes so sweet when you eliminate that. Then I get bloated. But so I'm like, oh, I don't really need that because I don't feel that great. But yeah, just, again, that's kind of where the fun can come in with the group because everyone shares their recipes and yeah. So using the
Great. Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that and then I mean, as far as balancing hormones is key, as we know, in the perimenopause stage. So I'm a huge believer in Progestins Plus, and then the PD 80/20 are like my top supplements that I take on top of that. There's multiple things I use from Young Living just because they work so much better. I've worked with different naturopaths. I've probably spent tens of thousands of dollars over the years, to be honest, because my health was so bad. I spent almost 4 years in and out of bed. I was that sick. Quit working and just trying to figure out what was wrong with me. So through that journey, I did a lot of research. I'm constantly trying to better myself and help others. And the Young Living supplements, I can tell you from personal experience, they work better than any other supplement, even from my expensive naturopaths that I've ordered because of the oils in them. Your body absorbs them and uses them. You're not wasting it. And so I just took the stuff that I was taking from the naturopath and I read the ingredients on all the Young Living stuff and found out what I needed. I was blown away at the difference. It was like, oh, this really does make a difference.
That's
Yeah.
so good. So
Yeah.
she just dropped some great nuggets. If you are a woman in your 30s, friend, you are most likely in perimenopause just from life, stress, moves, all of those things can really throw our body and our hormones off. We always think of perimenopause closer to 50, but it starts in our 30s many times. So she dropped some great nuggets. If you are working with Amie, Amie, you are very, very blessed. She is highly, highly knowledgeable in that and all of this. So, Amie, how many rev ups have you done? And what are your stats, if you know them?
Trying to remember. Um, so when I started, I was trying to, I should have looked back at the date I started. Is this 6 or 7? I don't know. I'd have to look. I can't remember. So so since I've been in Rev Up, so I had started, so we had a wedding actually last May. My daughter got married. And so I was on this weight loss journey doing keto and I lost 30 pounds during that. Since I've joined Rev Up, I'm actually at about 35, I think, as of this morning. So 65 pounds total. Um, but the biggest difference is I'm shrinking, like the inches that have gone off my body. I mean, I hate to even say it. My waist, I think a year and a half, 2 years ago, was at a 42 or 43. And I just measured my waist and I was down to a 33.
Yep, that was me too. That was me too.
So,
You're in the healthy zone again.
yes,
We all want to
yeah.
be under 37, under 35.
Okay.
That gets you in the healthy, healthy zone and away
Yeah.
from disease. Awesome. I am so, so proud of you. Is there anything else that you want to share? Any other things that you've noticed? You talked about pain. How's your skin? How's your hair, your nails?
Oh, everything's better. Yeah. I mean, my hair is actually growing. I'm actually like, I lost a ton during stress and, little that thing we won't mention.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to cause a red flag, but yeah, lost a lot of hair, but all the baby hair that I'm getting since I've started this program and my skin. Yeah. I mean, you almost feel like you're reverse aging
Yeah.
during with all the nutrition that you're getting. So yeah,
Absolutely amazing. Look at this woman. Would anyone say she's 50? I would not. I mean,
thank you.
girl, you could be in your 30s here. This is so, so good. So,
Thank
so
you.
good. Awesome. So, if you're curious about this Rev Up program, we would love to invite you to join us. Join us for a month.
Mm.
Test it out. See if it's something for you. Will you get all the pieces of the puzzle? Unless you're my husband, who's very analytical and can take something one time, he gets it, but some of us, it took me like 3 times. It was really my third time where I really started to nail it and like, oh, but it's not hard. It's not, would you say it's hard? Well, how would you describe it?
I don't think so. I mean, to me, honestly, it was the easiest thing I've done. When you're first jumping in, it feels a little overwhelming, I think, but what being active in the group, which I dove all in, which I tend to do. I mean, my first month in, I posted every day. I watched every video. I just followed what you guys said. And yeah, so I think it's easy. It really is. I mean, easier than anything I've ever done. I, I've always counted macros and I kept thinking, oh, I have to count my macros. It's like, no, just put it in those containers or measure it. And it just makes it so simple. So,
Right. That's right. It's so true. It's so true. And one of the things too is all of our coaches in there, we every day we come in, we comment, we read what you say, but we also give you some mindset coaching every day, or we give you some coaching on maybe some Young Living products, or we help solve some of your problems. And Amie, because she has been in there, she's gotten results, she's been in three, she is what we call a Rev Up rock star. So she could probably teach all of this herself, but she keeps herself in an accountability group. And that is another key, I think. Wouldn't you say, Amie, having, accountability?
yeah, I mean, success with accountability with anything in life, right? If we're trying to do something on our own, we're not going to succeed the same as if we have that accountability. And, just also cheering each other on in the group. I feel like it's such a great support. It's such a positive environment, which we need, you
Yeah,
know, and to feel a part of something. And yeah, no, that accountability, I think, is key for life, right?
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What would you say to someone like, oh, this is expensive? You mean I have to pay for this and I have to pay for the Ninja Red, I have to pay for this. What would you say for someone who's saying it's expensive?
Well, I feel like our health, we're going to pay for it's one way or another, right? I mean, the amount of doctors that I had seen, actually, I ended up in the hospital a year ago with heart issues. The emergency room visit was a couple $1,000s, right? And part of that was probably because I was overweight and not taking care of myself. And so to me, you're going to pay for it one way or another. And I'd rather pay for it to put health and, something healthy into my body. So, and I don't feel like it's that expensive, especially when, as most of us in there probably are on what we call loyalty rewards. I've been ordering every month for 7+ years now and have not missed a month. And when you're doing that and all the free product we get and then as a business, right? It turned into my friend that signed me up. I told her, I'm not doing a business. Don't talk to me about the business. And then I just started talking about my results, which is what we do about everything. We share what we love and, with anything. So it became part of my life and I love it. But
Wow.
yeah, I don't think it's that expensive. I feel like, I mean, I went and had a coffee a couple weeks ago, which I don't do that often. I think it was $8 for crying out loud for a, non-dairy coffee drink. I'm like, well, I'd rather have my Ningxia, which is not that much.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's so
Yeah.
good to have a program where if you do fall in love with it, you have your own story, you can share and get some of your products for free, or you can be more advanced, like Amie, who, has said, I want to help people. I love this. I'm serious and I want to help people and does this more as a business very part-time. So, you know, we've heard Amy's story. Like so many people who will watch this who struggled with food, struggled with binging and purging in their earlier years, or maybe even, up to a few weeks ago. Maybe that is you. We want to tell you that there's answers out there, that you can find freedom from food. It may not happen in 10 days. And a lot of people say, well, what happens after the 10 days? That's up to you. I was just talking to a person who did her first rev up. She lost almost 5 pounds, and it was very modified how she did it, meaning she didn't buy the containers or she just eyeballed it, right? She still lost 5 pounds. She goes, I feel so good. I'm keeping going with this. When you feel this good, you want to keep going. But you know what? You don't have to. We have clients who just come in for 10 days and very strict for 10 days, and then they loosen up and they still lost 45, 50 pounds in the Rev Up program. So it is a program that you can learn the habits to live for life like Amie has. You can find solutions to what you're looking for. The expense is worth it, friends. The expense in your health is worth it. Even if you have to go look around the house and sell some items to get started, or talk to Amie or the person who invited you and say, hey, I want to get these products. How do I get these products for free? They can help you develop a little something to help you get your products for free. I want to thank you so much, Amie, for coming on, for sharing. How do people connect with you if they want to connect with you, or whatever it is? How can they
Yeah.
reach you online?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't probably not share a phone number on here. I don't
No,
know.
no,
Never done
Facebook. Can they find you on Facebook and
it.
stuff too?
I'm on Facebook. Yeah, it's Amie, Amie. Last name is Spady, Spady. Both Instagram and Facebook I'm on for social media. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We'll put a link in the description of this video too, where you can learn more about Rev Up. You can see more testimonials of people like Amie, and hopefully we can get Amie someday to make us a little recipe book. And I think that's really exciting. So come on in the group and see her. We love to have you there, friend. But before I end, I always like to remind people there's usually three people who are watching this. The first person, Amie, they're like, they're curious, right? They're a little bit curious. The second person is like, okay, I know I need this. And the third person is like, absolutely. I really want to jump all in. Okay. So if you are just curious, the best way to test this out is to get into the program and try it out. Try it out for a month. See if it's something that works for you. Okay. But actually do it like Amie says. She was in there every day posting and stuff. The second type of person, you're like, yes, I know I need this. Okay. Get back to the person who invited you, get your Ninja Red, get started, join us for the next month. We usually start most months. It's the first Monday of the month, most months. Okay. But we'll get you a calendar so you know that. And the third type of person, you probably have, like I had 50 plus pounds to lose, right? Maybe you have 30, maybe you have 25. One rev up is not enough. Make a commitment. We have a loyalty program for you. We have things where you can cut your costs and really make a commitment to 3 or 6 months or even a year, like some of our rev up rock stars are. Get back to the person, let them know what you liked best, what nuggets you took from this training, and where you see yourself getting started. Thank you so much, Amie.
Great. Thank you.